So, listen to this. Kevin De Bruyne's life reads like the script of a drama that twists and turns between heartbreak, betrayal, and redemption. His rise to the very peak of football is impressive enough on its own, but once you learn the personal battles he's fought along the way, it becomes something else entirely. Every setback he endured seemed brutal enough to break anyone else, yet somehow he kept turning pain into fuel. Abandoned by the very people who were supposed to care for him, nearly expelled from his academy, betrayed by someone he loved, written off as a flop by the media, hit by injuries at the peak of his powers. De Bruyne's journey isn't just about talent, it's about resilience carved from the harshest experiences. This is the incredible story of Kevin De Bruyne. It began, fittingly, in his own backyard. Like many greats, his first pitch was the garden behind his house. He loved the game so much that his parents had to force him to play with his weaker foot. After he repeatedly smashed their flower pots with his right, at 8 years old, he was already fiercely determined. He had been playing for his local club KVV Dragon for 2 years when he decided the training wasn't good enough for him. Without hesitation, he told his coach that the sessions were better. At Gent, and just like that, he made the move to a new club. But Gent wasn't the smooth stepping stone he expected. De Bruyne wasn't a troublemaker, but he was quiet, too quiet for some, ambitious, bluntly honest, and stubborn to a fault. He didn't always fit in with teammates or coaches who tried to mold him into something normal. It didn't work. Once, when a coach kept badgering him during training, young Kevin planted himself against a goalpost and refused to move until he felt understood. Night fell before he finally relented. That same coach would later admit, "He is stubborn like a mule." But that's what made him so great. His talent, however, was undeniable. The word of his skills spread far enough that Genk came calling. Knew he was unhappy and offered him the chance to move across the country alone, to join their academy. But this was where he would face his first real heartbreak. After a year in a boarding home, the club arranged for him to live with a foster family, along with 2 other young players. For the first time since leaving home, De Bruyne felt comfortable. He was fitting in. He was doing well in school, excelling at football, and causing no trouble. When summer break came, the family waved him off with promises to see him next season. But when he got home, he found his mother in tears. She told him the words that would echo in his mind for years. The foster family called, and they don't want you there. It's about who you are. You're too quiet. They can't interact with you. You're too difficult. Those 5 words, "It's about who you are," seared into his memory. No one had ever told him anything was wrong. He thought keeping his head down and staying out of trouble was the right thing. Now he felt rejected simply for being himself. He picked up a ball and spent hours hammering it against the backyard fence, the words looping in his head. Worse still, the rejection had consequences. The club decided not to place him with another family. Instead, they sent him to a boarding house for troubled kids. For De Bruyne, it was a defining moment. When the pain subsided enough for him to think clearly, he made himself a promise. In 2 months, I'm going to be in the first team. No matter what, I am not coming back home a failure. At 16, still a relative nobody, he carried that fire into the new season, and then it happened. In a Friday night game, starting on the bench, he came on in the second half and played like a man possessed. Every touch was an act of defiance. By the end of the half, he had scored 5 goals. Each one was dedicated in his mind to the people who doubted him. 1 goal too quiet, 2 goals too difficult, 3 goals too much trouble, 4 goals they don't want you anymore, 5 goals because of who you are. That performance fast-tracked him into the first team in just over a month, sooner than even he had predicted. Suddenly, the same foster family that discarded him wanted him back. They claimed it was all a misunderstanding, that they had only meant to have him over on weekends. De Bruyne wasn't having it. "You threw me in the trash, and now that I'm doing good, you want me back?" he told them before walking away. Years later, he admitted he should probably thank them. It was their rejection that lit the fire that made him great. His breakthrough came quickly. In his first season, he barely played. In the second, he got minutes. By the third, he was unplayable, scoring 5 goals, providing 16 assists, and leading Genk to only their 3rd league title, clinched by a margin so slim it came down to half a point. That same year, he debuted for Belgium's national team, impressing so much that Vincent Kompany told teammates after their first training session, "He's 19 and already the best player in the team." But he was never one to keep quiet when standards slipped. He once confronted Genk star Leonov Barda for not working hard enough in training. In 2012, after a poor run of games, he told the press, "I'm ashamed of my teammates, and I suggest, those who don't want to play, just leave." Ironically, it would be De Bruyne who left soon after signing for Chelsea, who saw him as a future Frank Lampard replacement. Before settling in England, he went on loan to Werder Bremen, where he showcased his brilliance in the Bundesliga. While Bremen flirted with relegation, De Bruyne produced 10 goals and 9 assists, earning the league's Young Player of the Year award. He was ready for the Premier League, or so it seemed. Then came another blow. During that season, his girlfriend cheated on him with childhood friend and Belgian teammate Thibaut Courtois. She confirmed it to the press, even saying Courtois had given her more in one night than De Bruyne had in 3 years. She later claimed it was revenge for Kevin's own infidelity, but the damage was done. Distracted and out of form, he struggled at Chelsea under Mourinho. By mid-season, he was gone, sold to Wolfsburg with just 1 assist and no goals in a Chelsea shirt. In Germany, he found his rhythm again. Even with Courtois now at Chelsea, De Bruyne showed class by not pushing for his exclusion from the Belgian squad when given the option. That year, he was Belgium's top scorer in qualifying, taking them to their first major tournament in over a decade. At Wolfsburg, he unleashed his full potential. 16 goals, a record-breaking 21 league assists, a cup title, and second place behind Bayern. He even handed Bayern their first loss in nearly a year, scoring twice in that game. He was named Bundesliga Player of the Year and made the Ballon d'Or show off the pitch. His life was changing too. He met the woman who would become his wife, though his friend had to send the first message because De Bruyne was too shy. She helped him out of his shell, gave him confidence, and stood by him through moments that tested them both, like a pregnancy scare that left Kevin helpless in a hospital hallway. In 2015, Manchester City paid a then-record £55 million for him. Pep Guardiola arrived a year later and told De Bruyne, "You can be a top 5 player in the world, easily." Under Pep's guidance, De Bruyne thrived, winning titles, breaking assist records, and finally achieving success with Belgium by leading them to a bronze medal at the 2018 World Cup, their best ever finish. But tragedy wasn't done with him. In 2019, the day after his second son was born, De Bruyne tore a knee ligament. Wearing a brace, he broke down on the phone to his wife, telling her, "I'm not going to be able to even dress myself. You're going to have 3 babies at home now." Football was his emotional lifeline, and without it, he felt adrift. When he returned, he was better than ever, tying Thierry Henry's Premier League assist record and being named Player of the Season in 2020. The Champions League remains the one major trophy missing from his cabinet, but as Pep once said, Messi sits on a table all by himself. But De Bruyne can certainly sit at the one beside it. Kevin De Bruyne's journey isn't just about football, it's about perseverance, it's defiance, and the refusal to let life's cruelest blows define you. Every rejection, every betrayal, every injury only sharpened his focus. He's not just one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, he's proof that even when life tries to write you off, you can still write your own ending.